What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a custom Black Series figure. Today we're going to be working on the 8th Brother Inquisitor. I was really excited to get this guy. I've been eyeballing this kit for a while, and I'm really happy to be filling out my Inquisitor shelf. So the base body I'm using for this guy is Professor X from the Tri-Sentinel Build-A-Figure wave, and all of the 3D printed parts are from forcecreators.store. They're all individually bagged, and they were all wrapped with bubble wrap, so everything came packaged really nicely. You can see all these pieces are separated by like hands and feet and legs and stuff like that, so it's all wrapped up and packaged very well. And here's the box it came in. There's forcecreators.store. So here's everything out of the bags and out of the boxes, and you can see the tone they used for the undersuit here looks perfect for the 8th Brother, so I'm really glad they used this body because I won't have to paint anything. I won't have to paint the body at all, so I was really happy about how well that matches up. Here are the heads. I didn't notice the difference at first, but one has a smaller neck and one has a bigger neck. I still dremeled it out a little bit so I get to fit a little bit better. But here's the lightsabers. You get 4 of them. These ones with the handles already printed on them are supposed to clip onto the back, but you can see with 3D printing and friction fitting, never turns out perfect. So it was kind of hard to get that to clip on the back. These ones, I think I ended up just throwing away. The handles here are supposed to clip in to these spots so that you can switch out the lightsabers with the lightsaber hand pretty easily, but these do not fit at all. The handles do not. And then the handles didn't want to fit in the hand either. I had to heat up the hand to get the handle in eventually. But the only issue I had with the prints, they all looked amazing except for this foot. It looks like the layers separated when it was printing, and so the back toe piece just completely split apart. But he did really good about sending a replacement like within a week, so it's not that big of a deal. I just waited on painting the hands and the feet till last. I did do a hot water test because last time I got a kit from Force Creators, it split apart when I heated it up, but thankfully this time though, the hot water did not affect the print, so I can heat everything up without having to worry about it splitting. For painting all of the armor pieces, I started by base coating everything in this just regular black color. I used the Vallejo Black Air because it's a little bit thinner and easier to airbrush. And then I went over with a couple really light coats of this kind of metallic Citadel color just to try to give it a different kind of color to the body. I want it to look a little bit more like armor and less like just black plastic. Then for all the detail work, I went in with the steel color from Citadel. Citadel has the best metallic paints, I think. And then I highlighted all of the buttons and stuff with this red paint. You could probably go a little bit lighter with the red, but this is the lightest I had. And then for the shoulder pads, they already had the decals printed on them, so all I had to do was do a million coats of white paint on those. For the feet and the hands, I started by base coating everything in this flesh color. I wanted it to be more like a flesh blue and less like a just stark blue, so I started off with this, and it looked kind of weird seeing it like a humanoid color, and then I went over that with this Hydra turquoise from Army Painter, and that went on a little bit dark. I didn't really love that, but this is what it looked like at that step. So to lighten it up, I went over it really lightly with this pale flesh color from Vallejo. Now it's time for the least exciting part. I started off by dremeling these legs to try to get the armor to fit on, and I also dremeled down these forearms to get those to fit on as well. Not really that much dremeling necessary, but this torso almost destroyed me. I had to dremel away so much of this torso just to get this armor piece to fit on. It's extremely tight, so I had to take away almost everything. But you can see these pegs in the side help it hold together, and they didn't fit together because friction fitting. So I had to sand those down a bit, but eventually I got it where I could clip this on and it looked pretty okay. I completely lost the arm socket in the process of this, so I'm gonna have to figure out something with that. But these little arm cover pieces, they don't really fit in either. I think I may be able to heat it up to get them in, but I end up just drilling the hole a little bit bigger to like peg these in. So then to make it look a little bit better, I went in with some epoxy sculpt and tried to fill in all these gaps and keep it just so that the armor could fit on. And I tried to paint this to match the bodysuit color. So this is after I glued everything on. It all looked good from the outside, but this inside needed some work, and I needed to find a way to plug those arms in. So I dremeled out the holes bigger on these arm cover things, these shoulder covers, and they looked like they had just enough room for these arms to articulate on the inside. So I had to figure out a way to get these arms reattached. I started off with this bag of ball joints that I have. Anytime I see some on Amazon, I buy them just to try them out. And so I have a bunch of these just for projects just like this. So I need to get them attached to that arm somehow. So I started by cutting off the tip of this peg just so it'd be a little bit shorter, so I'd have a little bit more room to work. And I drilled a hole into one of those Amazon ball pegs that I had. Then I drilled a hole into the peg, and I used some of this plastic bonder, this JB Weld stuff, to glue a nail into the arm and then through this ball peg so that I could have it attached pretty securely. This is what it looked like after the glue dried. It's really messy, but it works, so that's the most important part. And then I glued the socket down into the body and painted everything in there black so it wouldn't be that noticeable. For the belt, I wanted to keep the leg movement, so first off, I cut this guy in half so I get the belt on without having to cut the belt. I wouldn't do that. I would find some other way because he's a pain to get back together. But I put these pieces of elastic on the side, I glued them to the belt, and then I'm gonna glue these little side armor pieces onto those elastics so that I can still articulate the leg without it snapping off. For the ankles and the wrist, I used Revoltech joints for these ankles. I got them off like the Batman, I think. His cape was miserable, so I just stole all the joints and gave him a cloth cape. But for the wrist, I stole these off of the knockoff SH Figure Arts Spider-Man. That action figure sucks, so he doesn't need his wrist anymore. I'm taking those. I also had to drill out holes for the wrists and the feet. I forgot to show that before painting. So with all that, he's done now. I really like how he turned out. I think just to stand on the shelf, he's gonna be great, and I really wanted to fill out my Inquisitors, so this is perfect. This 3D print turned out great. I know he had contacted me because my previous video was about his store as well, and he said he made a lot of improvements to his printing process, so he sent me this kit, and I can tell it's way better than the last one, and I think for future purchases, I'll definitely be turning towards him because his stuff is really cheap and it's really good quality. There's really no complaints. I mean, I think the only complaints I would have would be about the 3D model itself, just the chest being so tight, took a lot of dremeling, and the head hole needed to maybe be a little bit bigger. And the lightsabers, I really wasn't having a good time with the way they were intended to be put together, but that's on me. That's not on him or the modeler. I just didn't want to have to deal with trying to get all those pieces to fit together to be able to switch the lightsabers out. But everything turned out great. There's no problems with the print, actually. Just the 1 foot, and he was really quick to replace that, so I was really happy about that. And I definitely feel like I could recommend his store now. I think with the last print, I was a little bit iffy on it, with the Starkiller kit I got, but this one's really an improvement. And I did get one more kit from him I'm working on currently. He'll probably be done the next couple weeks, hopefully. Just a little, I guess, tease. He has 4 arms and he hates clones. So I'm working on him right now, and he should be done pretty quickly. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more content, I have shorter form content on TikTok, and there's some stuff on there that I didn't think I could make into a YouTube video. So if you want to see more from me, check me out there. Also, if you want to see pictures of this guy and pictures of all my other customs, you can check it out on Instagram. I keep that one pretty up to date, and I like to post stories about stuff I'm working on too, so make sure you're following me there. But thanks for watching the whole video, and I'll see y'all next time. Thanks. Bye.